Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 9th of January. Pakistan violates ceasefire along border in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistani court agrees to hear Nawaz Sharif's appeal against verdict in corruption case. And Mahinda Rajapaksa named opposition leader in Sri Lankan Parliament. And now for all the details. Pakistani troops on Wednesday targeted forward posts along the frontier in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. This is the fourth such incident of ceasefire violation by Pakistani forces in last 2 days.
Pakistani army on Wednesday violated ceasefire along the de facto border line of control or LOC in Poonch sector of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province, claimed local residents. Pakistani troops reportedly fired mortar shells and small arms in Khadi Karmada area in Poonch district. Meanwhile, Indian security forces also retaliated to the fire from across the border. No casualty was, however, reported till the last reports came in. It is the fourth such ceasefire violation in the last 2 days. As many as 2,936 instances of ceasefire violations by Pakistan were recorded in Jammu and Kashmir in 2018, which was the highest in the last 15 years.
अब रात का फायर तो बॉर्डर पे चल रहा था, हमें क्या पता कि हमारे घरों में भी पड़ेंगे। सुबह अचानक ही सर ये पड़ना शुरू हो गया, हम बाहर से बड़ी मुश्किल से अंदर गए, तो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा डरे हुए हैं सर। तो सभी ये छोटे बच्चे जो भी है, हम अपना कोई काम काज नहीं कर पाते हैं।
The troops of arch rivals India and Pakistan intermittently exchanged fire on the LOC, despite an agreement in 2003 that a ceasefire should be observed along the working boundary. Both New Delhi and Islamabad blame each other for resorting to unprovoked firings.
The lower house of the Indian Parliament on Tuesday passed Citizenship Amendment Bill to make illegal migrants belonging to religious minorities from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan eligible for citizenship. The passage of the bill has faced criticism from opposition parties and the people of some northeastern provinces.
The lower house of Indian Parliament on Tuesday passed Citizenship Amendment Bill to make illegal migrants, including Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis and Christians from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan eligible for citizenship. While participating in a debate on the bill, India's Interim Minister Rajnath Singh said the country wants to give citizenship to immigrants belonging to religious minorities persecuted in neighboring Muslim countries, including Pakistan, because they have nowhere to go except India.
इन आइडेंटिफाइड अल्पसंख्यक समुदायों के लोगों को भारत के अलावा कहीं और आश्रय लेने अथवा अस्थायी रूप से रहने की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है अध्यक्ष महोदय। इसलिए हमारी सरकार ने इन समुदायों के माइग्रेंट्स को प्यूनिटिव लीगल एक्शन से प्रोटेक्शन प्रदान करने के लिए 2015 और 2016 में ही आदेश जारी कर दिए थे।
Meanwhile, the passage of bill also faced resentment by the people in India's northeastern provinces, where residents have for years complained that immigrants from Bangladesh have put a big strain on resources. The bill was expected to be tabled in the upper house of Parliament on Wednesday for discussion.
In news from Pakistan, the Islamabad High Court on Wednesday accepted the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's plea seeking the earliest possible date for hearing on his appeal against the verdict in Al-Azizia corruption reference. The former Premier was sentenced to 7 years in jail in the case on December 24th last year.
The Islamabad High Court on Wednesday accepted former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's petition seeking the earliest possible date for scheduling a hearing on his appeal against the Al-Azizia reference verdict. While accepting to hear the plea against the 7-year jail term awarded to Sharif in the Al-Azizia reference, the court instructed the registrar's office to fix a date within 10 days. On December 24th, an accountability court had sentenced Sharif to 7 years in prison in the Al-Azizia case, while acquitting him in the flagship investments corruption case. The appeal filed by Sharif's lawyer has requested the High Court to declare his sentence null and void. The appeal has argued that the court's verdict is grounded in an incorrect interpretation of the law. The Accountability Court, which announced the verdict, failed to cater to the objections raised by the accused, the appeal states.
Special Envoy of Afghan President Ashraf Ghani for Regional Affairs on Consensus Around Peace, Umar Daudzai, on Tuesday met Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi in Islamabad. Both the leaders discussed accelerating the Afghan peace process and strengthening of bilateral relations between the two countries.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani's Special Envoy for Regional Affairs on Consensus Around Peace, Mohammad Umar Daudzai, met Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi on Tuesday. A statement by Pakistan's Foreign Ministry said that during the meeting, the two sides discussed accelerating the Afghan peace process and strengthening of bilateral relations between the two countries. There has been a renewed interest from Pakistan's side to cooperate with the US and Afghanistan to achieve a political settlement with the Taliban to end the 17-year-long conflict in Afghanistan. Washington often accuses Islamabad of covertly sheltering Taliban leaders who stage attacks in Afghanistan, an accusation Islamabad vehemently denies. Daudzai last week has said that he will meet up top Pakistani leadership during his 4-day visit and had expressed hope that 2019 is the year of peace for Afghanistan. The Taliban has, however, long rejected direct talks with the elected Afghan government led by President Ashraf Ghani.
Afghan Minister of Justice Abdul Bashir Anwar has said that he sees no significant shortcomings in Afghanistan's constitution which would impact the peace talks with Taliban. His remarks came a day after reports of a disclosure of a detailed document that has been prepared as a potential peace agreement between the US, Taliban and the Afghan government. Afghanistan's Justice Minister Abdul Bashir Anwar has said that he sees no significant shortcomings in the country's constitution which would impact the peace process or impede the Taliban from engaging in peace talks to end the conflict. His remarks came a day after the disclosure of a detailed document that has been prepared as a potential peace agreement between the United States, the Taliban and the Afghan government, local media reports said.
خاصة مخالفين مسلح طالب افغانستان یا عادی قوم و افراد چیزی را بیافند که یعنی مانع آوردن صلح در افغانستان به اشتراک باشه.
Meanwhile, some members of the upper house of parliament said Afghanistan and the United States are bound by common interests as they were during the communist regime in Afghanistan.
اگر دیروز خطر کمونیسم بود امروز خطر تروریسم است که هر دو یکسان جهان بشریت تهدید میکرد و تهدید میکنه و هر تصمیم مطابق با واقعیت‌های افغانستان بوده باشه.
Local media reports said the document includes a declaration of a ceasefire, Taliban's complete renunciation of links with terrorist organization, and complete and phased ending of the current US and NATO military mission. Moving on to news from Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka's former president Mahinda Rajapaksa was on Tuesday named the leader of opposition in the parliament amid pending questions about his eligibility to hold the position. He had earlier resigned as Prime Minister in December last year after failing to win a parliamentary majority as the government shutdown loomed.
Sri Lanka's former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was on Tuesday named the leader of opposition in the Sri Lankan Parliament amid pending questions about his eligibility to hold the position. The announcement came as a reaffirmation of Speaker Karu Jayasuriya's earlier position acknowledging Rajapaksa as opposition leader, which MPs of the Tamil National Alliance or TNA and some other parties had challenged. Legislators of the TNA, whose leader R. Sampanthan had held the post since 2015, asked how Rajapaksa could stake claim for the post after becoming a member of a new party formed by his supporters. Speaker Jayasuriya is yet to explain the reasons for his decision that was conveyed to Parliament on Tuesday, local media reports said. Following a nearly 2-month-long political crisis that gripped the island nation, Rajapaksa on December 15th cleared the Prime Minister's office that he questionably held for weeks. He had failed to win a parliamentary majority and resigned on December 15th as a government shutdown loomed.
A 3-day-long exhibition of patented handicraft and agriculture products was recently organized in India's northern Shimla town, in which local producers displayed their products for the visitors.
A 3-day-long exhibition was recently organized in Shimla town of India's northern Himachal Pradesh province, in which patented handicraft and agricultural products were displayed by the local producers. The event was aimed at providing a platform to the producers from rural areas to display their geographical indications or GI patented products in the urban market, besides educating the visitors on ascertaining the authenticity of the products available in the market. Nearly 13 different stalls were put up in the exhibition, in which 8 GI products including Kangra tea, Kulu and Kinori shawls, Kangra paintings and Chamba and handicrafts were displayed for the visitors.
We have like 13 stalls right now, and the GIs are like round about 7 to 8 GIs have been displayed, and then now maybe we can say in coming months we will be exhibiting Kala Zeer and Chulli oil also.
It is very important for the people who come from outside to understand and realize the culture and tradition of the state, and getting a GI registration for the local products and produce is an important indicator which even helps the locals to market their product and to safeguard the culture and heritage of a place.
The exhibition witnessed huge rush of visitors who were very excited to buy authentic products. They hailed the initiative of the government for making it easier for customers to identify the original products.
An international kite festival was organized on Wednesday in India's western Surat city, in which participants hailing from 17 countries displayed their kite flying skills and filled the skies with vibrant hues. An international kite festival was organized on Wednesday in Surat city of India's western Gujarat province, in which kite enthusiasts hailing from 17 different countries displayed their kite flying skills. The annual event hosts visitors from across the country who come to see the kites of different designs flying high on sky in the city. A competition is also conducted during the festival, where participants displayed their skills in cutting the thread supporting other kites.
The festival is very good. This is amazing. The people, the culture, have a beautiful kite flyers, national and international. And the culture, the dancing is beautiful.
Yes, it's a beautiful kite festival. We've been here the 4th time and we like it so very much here. The people are so friendly and so warm. And we always get a warm welcome, and it feels so good to us.
Kite festivals are organized at different locations across the country in the second week of January to mark the celebrations of Makar Sankranti, or Festival of Sun God. During the festival, the skies over most cities of Gujarat province remain covered with kites from before dawn until well after dark. Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Pakistan violates ceasefire along border in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistani court agrees to hear Nawaz Sharif's appeal against verdict in corruption case. And Mahinda Rajapaksa named opposition leader in Sri Lankan Parliament. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsia Newsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.